Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. Today we are going to do, like I mentioned on the Friday last week, we are going to do a review on this little Ryobi cordless router. And no, I did not purchase another router. This actually belongs to Vernon, who just lives right here in Golden Valley, and he's a good friend. He's been over here many times, and he wanted me to do a review on his router. So I think he's had this for a little while, so it's not brand new. And I'm just gonna, I kind of did some testing with it. I did some carving with it. You guys saw on Friday, I carved these little, excuse me, I'm talking too fast. I'm talking faster than I can think. So I carved all of these with this router, 3 or 4 different bits, the carving liner, the profile, and the 90. Yeah, the 3 different bits. And it did pretty well, I gotta say. So I'm going to, I've got some things that I like about it, some things I really don't like about it. I'm going to go through them, the pros and the cons. And remembering, guys, I look at this from a standpoint of carving signs. Now, if you're going to do other things with this, other than carving signs and, you know, just doing scalloping or chamfering, then, you know, you're going to have to figure that out for yourself, because I just don't do a lot of general woodworking, like cutting grooves and dados and a lot of, you know, cutting shapes, circles. I don't do a lot of that, like hardly any of that. If I do that stuff, I generally use my full-size routers. But I am going to give you my unbiased opinion, not sponsored. Obviously, I don't have any sponsors, really. So it's not, you know, it's very unbiased opinion. So I did some test cuts with this thing, and I got to say that the power, pretty darn good. The power is good. So I'm going to go through the pros and the cons here. The really good thing is this thing's only 69 bucks out the door. Now that is tool only. That is not the batteries. I understand the batteries are fairly inexpensive, but I really haven't priced those out. But the good thing, like with Vernon, he has a lot of tools. Like I think he's got some yard equipment and other things that run on this 18-1. What is that? That's what it is, right? 18, or this 1 plus system. So his batteries are interchangeable. So he already had some batteries. This is a 4 amp hour battery, and then I also tested the little 1.5 amp hour battery. So from a starter standpoint, or from a budget standpoint, I think it's a really good buy. I'm going to also kind of throw it in with my other cordless, my Milwaukee and my DeWalt. Now, does this stand up to these? Not even close. These are far more quality than the Ryobi. However, the Ryobi is like less than half the price, like way less than half the price. I think the Milwaukee was really kind of pricey. But you know, my favorite still is a DeWalt router. But this, actually, my Milwaukee is becoming a real favorite of mine as well. But so, does it really compare to what these two can do? It's not as solid, it's not as rigid. The mechanisms for depth adjustment aren't near as quality as these two routers. But again, as a starter router, if you're budget conscious, this is not a bad way to go. So that's that. Now, let's see, what else? Oh, the cool thing is with the Rigid and the Ryobi, you know, they're owned by the same company. The base plates are interchangeable. So this whole pattern is identical to this whole pattern, which is handy if you already have the Rigid and you've got a base plate for it. You can change the base plate over. The other really cool thing is, like the Rigid, it's the only one that's open on both sides. Both the Milwaukee and the DeWalt, and I think just about every other router, trim router that I had to modify to open up the back side. You don't have to do that with this one. So if that's a concern for you, this really is a good choice as well. Other than that, and then the mechanism for the depth adjustment and all that is really similar. They're very similar. They're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. I gotta move this up so it, and this is not, okay, so I can set it flat. It's very, again, a lot of the things are the same on here. But it's not the same router, no doubt. This still probably would have more power, and obviously you plug it in, so it would go forever. As far as the amp and a half, 1.5 amp hour battery, it went really quick. When Vernon brought this to me, these were both charged up fully. This, I think that, I didn't even time it, but I think this only lasted about 10 minutes. So it goes dead pretty fast. The 4 amp hour, however, I did almost all of the carving that I just showed you with that 4 amp hour battery, and I think there's still plenty on there. Now I don't see on here, oh yeah, okay, so I'm down to half life, but I probably carved 10 or 15 minutes, so I'm down to half life on the battery here. So that's not too bad. And again, if you have multiple batteries, that makes it almost a no-brainer. It comes with a regular base plate, and I think this is almost identical to the one that the Rigid comes with. It comes with a little window for the back side or the front side, depending on how you want to use it, and a wrench. And then it comes in a little bag. And so anyway, what I want to yeah, I think that's about all of the positives. Now I want to go into some of my real concerns on this thing. So the one of the concerns that I realized right off the bat is much like the Rigid. Well, I know what I did. There was a little keeper down here, and I did a video on that, and I added a little keeper to solidify this thing, because this rack, this screw rack and pinion thing would kind of slide in there. And what I'm finding in here is the same thing. I don't know if you can see that, but this is tightened down, and this has movement up and down. Can you catch that on video? I'm hoping that you can. So that's a concern for me. I really don't like that. This doesn't tighten up enough that it stops that from happening. So that I believe this whole rack is moving in there. Well, the whole housing is, so it's not really tight. So that's a con for me. So one of the other things is to change the bits. Now I almost always remove the housing to change the bits. So to change this bit, you've got to depress that, and then you have to get this out of the way. So that actually isn't too bad. The first couple times I did it, it was kind of like, wow, that's really a pain. But to put it back on, it's a little more difficult. You've got to put it in place, and then, you know, get this out of the way, and then that's how that works. So that's not too bad. Once you get used to it, that's not too bad. Here's the thing that I realized really fast out of the gate. I'm going to take this router bit out of here. This is our profile bit. So I'm going to take that out of there, and I'm going to show you a concern that I had. And I asked Vernon about this. I went to put a new bit in this, put a bit in this collet, and it wouldn't go in there. It would only go in about halfway. So this collet design, I am not crazy about it at all. So when you put this router bit in, it should slide right in there. But see, it doesn't want to. I'm really trying to force it in there, and I can force it in there, and I've opened it up a lot compared to before. I mean, I really had to do a lot of forcing to get that thing to open up. It is somewhat opened up now, but it shouldn't be that way. That should just slide in. And there's some definite resistance. And so I don't know if you guys have this. You want this router bit as far into that collet as you can get. You do not want that thing stuck like that, and then that open end. I don't know if you can see that. That open end, what's going to happen is that's going to compress, and that's going to just not be good. That's not good holding pressure on that router bit. You've got to have that thing all the way in there. So this one is workable now, but it was tough to get it to be workable. So what happens is the taper on the inside of here hits that taper, and then it compresses that whole thing. So I'm not crazy about the collet design at all. This got a shaft lock here, so that's how you lock that shaft so you can tighten it up. Anyway, I'm not. The collet design, I think, is not good at all. So, but again, I carved that sign with it and it worked. Now I have to figure this out again. So I want to do a couple test cuts. I'm not going to do any real heavy cuts with it, but I am going to do a couple test cuts with it so you guys can hear another, kind of get another concern that I have. So let me get this set up. So this is the macro adjustment is to depress this thing, and then the router moves up and down so you can get it set where you want on there, and then the micro adjustment is here. This will take it up and down. Almost identical to the rigid. It's not a bad design, but it's not anywhere near as good as the DeWalt design, which is my favorite. But again, it is what it is. It's a starter router, I think, for a lot of people. So let me get a little depth there. I've got it set at, I don't know, what is that? A little over 1/8 of an inch. That's about 3/16 actually, about 3/16. And I want to make a cut with it because what I have found is, and this is going to be kind of a, this is a sound thing. So let me do a real quick cut. I've got profile bits in all three of these routers, and that's about 3/16, somewhere around there. I'm going to make a cut with this, and I want you guys to listen to the sound. I'm going to try and deaden the sound a little bit when I edit the video so it's not blaring, but I want you to listen to the sound. Here we go. Now, that really high-pitched sound that you heard, that is the bit just microscopically kind of moving. That has a little bit of a chatter to it. That's the Milwaukee. So, yeah, this is about right. This is the DeWalt. There's no chatter there at all. Now, some of that will be from, let me see how far I have the router bit in there. Now, they're about the same. The router bit sticking out of this. I think this one's sticking out a little bit further. The further out that you have the router bit, the more chances that you're going to get that chatter. And that is just a really, really high vibration. So let's check out this one. Although this one I've got in there quite a bit further. So this one shouldn't really have any chatter at all. That's got a lot of chatter. I don't know. Could you hear that? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of chatter. And I think it has to do with that collet design. Honestly, I'm not real comfortable with that collet design. Now, again, I carved all of this with that, and it worked. But I look at things from, I guess my dad taught me really early on to listen for that sound, that kind of sound, because that almost is a sound like something isn't quite tight, or something's gonna, just be aware that that's not the way it's supposed to sound. And to be honest, this little Milwaukee, it just chattered, but I think I've got the router bit sticking out of there a little bit too far. The DeWalt had zero chatter. So I don't know if you guys could catch that. I hope you can. You machinists out there, you know what I'm talking about, and you guys that have done this for a while, you know what I'm talking about. But when you hear that sound, let me do it again. In fact, I'm going to set it just a little bit deeper so it makes it even more pronounced. Like if you're like I cut up to 1/4 of an inch deep, guys. I'm going to take it at a full quarter, and we're going to see what it. All right, there it is. I'm going to take it at a full 1/4 of an inch. A little bit more. And we're going to see what it sounds like. Here we go. This is just pine, by the way. You hear that sound, guys? That is not a sound of stability, let's just say. Now, it cut. That sound makes me really nervous. So I think it's that collet design. Now, to be very honest, I don't know. This collet, and this happens once in a while, this collet may be defective. It could be that Vernon just happened to get one that has a defective collet, and maybe without a defective collet, this wouldn't have that chatter sound. But I'm not comfortable with that chatter sound. So if you guys get one of these and it sounds like that, it's not right. It shouldn't be like that. Again, the Milwaukee, I'm kind of surprised, but even the chatter between this and this is huge, and I could hear it. But again, there's another, my DeWalt is still going to be my favorite because it has got zero chatter. But that's my biggest concern on this thing. The other thing is changing bits. I talked about that before. It's a little wonky, but you can live with that, and I can live with it. The more you get used to it, it's a little cumbersome when you first start out, but you can deal with that. So the other thing that I found is when I had that 1.5 amp hour battery, it felt comfortable. It was fine. But if you're carving signs, and even when I was doing this one that I just showed, every once in a while I would be lifting up the edge of this router, and I find this top heaviness is a little bit of an issue. I really had to use some hand strength in order to keep that thing from kind of going over on me, because I do that a lot when I'm carving tight places. I'll lift that router from time to time, and the top heaviness really was a little bit of an issue. So be aware of that. If you have hand issues or that, you probably won't want to be doing a lot of lifting like that. You'll want to just cut at different depths and not do what I do with my base plates. You'll want to keep them flat as much as possible. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Again, this thing has its limitations. Huh? Oh, it has its limitations, but again, it's absolutely usable. I know Vernon really likes it. And again, the thing that is the most concerning to me is that collet design, and whether that's a defective collet, I don't know. But I certainly know that chatter is not right. It's not what it should be. So anyway, guys, that's kind of my takes. Again, if you're budget conscious, I don't think it's a bad buy at all. If you can save up money and go for the DeWalt or even the Milwaukee, it's a much more quality tool. But this is, for $70, and especially if you've already got the batteries, I don't think it's a bad deal at all. That's it, guys. I know this is a quick one. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, please let me know. And thanks for watching. We love you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.